European Commission published its new trade policy, Trade for All, last year in October, and I think it's been recognised by a lot of people as the most sustainable development friendly trade policy ever. So this is the time when the opportunities are there. Both policies are very kind of close to each other. They're seeking to support each other, so now's the time to see how that can really happen in practice.
Basically, after the collapse of the Rana Plaza factory in Bangladesh, a lot of public discussion came up on responsibility and workers' conditions, and awareness was risen on workers' conditions. And together with the Agenda 2030, we have now the opportunity to move this public discussion or public awareness to a discussion on or dialogue on policy options, which we have as consumers, as producers, as retailers, and yeah, we want to link these two strands of discussion: on working conditions and also on universality in our brainstorming session.
Reaching the Sustainable Development Goals is a quite complex issue, and so we need to account for the diversity of the stakeholders and challenges. And so the key message is that within the lab debate we are going to raise awareness on this diversity and on the needs to implement sustainable value chains to reach the Sustainable Development Goals. So we seek for something that is going to be interactive, and so come and join us.
Why we're working and why we're promoting forest producer organization is that when people come together into an organization, it brings strength in numbers, and that's the message we want to bring about. That first of all, to get organized, and then all these organizations get organized, and that's how we get stronger and we can contribute to the Sustainable Development Goals.
We will be analyzing what are likely scenarios for cities and how city leaders can take different policy options in order to achieve progress in the areas of energy, climate change, as well as sustainable cities.
The auditorium will showcase that safe and decent housing environment is the first step towards accessing services and rights for women. And we want to bring it closer to the European policymakers and kind of make them see that focusing on urban areas but in complement to rural and agricultural settings is actually very important in these days when there's a huge influx of people into urban areas.
We are trying to promote projects that show the impact of culture as a tool, vector and driver of sustainable development through different projects, facts and figures, publication, communication tools, and we are also going to trying to interact with the public in the stand using the facilities of EDD Village in order to invite guest speakers that really use culture as a tool of their local communities and territories and show how it worked.
The EDD provides an opportunity for our young professionals and our members to engage with some of the leading experts in the development field. So for our members who are able to join, this is a way that we can provide their participation. And for those who aren't able to join physically, we'll be doing a social media engagement that we have an ongoing dialogue between our members and the online societies.
The more people that have access to a mobile phone and even to, I think, a smartphone, that there are people that have access to fresh water in the world. And I think this is of course, a poor reality, but it is also an opportunity. It's an opportunity to use the digital means, in this case mainly mobile phones or smartphones, to do a number of things, to get better health, get consultancy via your smartphone, pay your bills via the smartphone, send money from one place to another with a smartphone. Kids can get education, access to universities can get access to the best schools in the world through internet. So there is a number of things where ICT or digital solutions can actually leapfrog development. And I think this opportunity we have to seize.
We want to be part of the European Development Days this year because we would like to advance the knowledge and the discussion on digital financial services for financial inclusion.